Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video, we're looking at a very impressive small block vehicle, and this thing is called the S22R Socii MLRS, which is this lovely thing over here. So this thing just spews out missiles like no tomorrow, and it all works on a salvo script, so it fires one at a time and creates a continuous stream of missiles towards whatever you want to annihilate. And for a quick demonstration, what I'll do is just grab hold of my character, which is standing right over here. We're going to say fly all the way up to this section right here. Then I'll just grab hold of the vehicle. We're going to aim all the way up where I'm standing. And then we're going to switch to the free camera once again. We're just going to come all the way like so. We're going to start pummeling the missiles. And that's how it works. We can now just fly all the way over to here to see the massive stream coming all the way over to where I was standing. And we can just go and lower that down just a little bit. There we go, and start firing it once again. And now we're going to start boring through the mountainside. So if you don't want to use a drill, you can always use this vehicle. So back over at this vehicle, we'll press F10, we'll find it in the spawn menu, and you'll be able to see its name right there. So hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And once it loads, it's only 1,300 small blocks, using the Wasteland, Decorative Block number 2, and Heavy Industry DLC packs. We can see the 3 scripts it uses. So the first one is for the turret control on top, the second one is to make it control more like a tank, and the bottom one is to make sure the rockets fire on a stream rather than all at once. So we'll give this thing a thumbs up, which I already have. We'll move all the way around to the very front, we'll have a quick look around the outside, and then we'll take a look at the interior, which it does have a rather tiny interior. Then we'll drive it around and blast a few things with the turret. So all the way over to here, this is what we get at the very front. Making up the entire body, some green battered armoured steel blocks. And right below here near our wheels, we can see our wasteland spotlights to light up the darkness. All the way up to here, we've got some fantastic use of our beam blocks, adding as additional bits of detail. And then right in the middle section, we've got some blaster edge blocks, which is how we're going to appear outside from our cockpit, which you might be able to make out right there. If we were to move all the way around onto the side, this is what we get. We've got one hell of a lot of our armoured panels, we've got even more use of our beam blocks, and we've got a ladder on the side for good measure. We can also see a ore detector up there, which you could use to use this vehicle to go out and about and scout some ore patches, but it's mainly there for decoration. And if we were to continue all the way along towards the very back here, this is what we get. We've got a nifty use of our conveyor onto some cylinders, onto a exhaust. And at the back here, you might be able to make out these 3 blaster edge blocks that will fold all the way down to the ground and allow you to get in. Like I said, it's very cramped on the inside, but we'll come back to that a bit later. If we were to continue to the dark side of the vehicle, what we're going to see is some fantastic use of our barred window blocks, where we've got a bunch of spotlights in the middle there, just adding as a little bit of decoration, and it does work very well. Towards front there, even more blaster edge blocks, and some more barred window blocks. Once again, back round to the front. There we go. If we were to get a better look at the turret, it's sitting on a platform of blaster edge blocks. We can see even more barred window blocks, and then we can see the hinges of how it's going to move up and down. If we were to come all the way around towards the very back of this thing, this is what we get. Got a rotating light. And looking down at the base, there we go. Coming all the way around towards the very front, we've got some good use of our hazard skin. And here are all the rockets that are going to be blasting your enemies. At the top, we've got a camera to precisely aim it, and below there, a light, just in case you need it when it's very dark. And if we were to poke the camera all the way through here, we should be able to see a lovely little rotor, there it is, for how it's going to spin all the way around, so you can always blast something, no matter how you park this vehicle. If we were to take a quick look, looking down at the vehicle, the turret is going to be covering up most of this vehicle, and all the way towards the front there, we'll be able to see the hinge of how the front is being angled. Got a hinge that comes all the way down, that's just being angled all the way across. If we were to drop down and come underneath, this is what we get. Excusing all the grass there, we can see how our wheels have been connected up to the main body, but there's not too much else to talk about because it's just armoured plates. And then we go at the very back, we can see the hinge of how a door is going to open and close. And that is a very brief look around the outside of the S22R. It does look fantastic, and the gun is an absolute joy to play around with, so we'll come back to that in just a minute because I need to grab hold of my character. Good, it's the right one. We need to come all the way around towards the very back here. We're going to press this button and we'll be able to open up the door. There we go. Oh, it's going to take a little bit to come all the way down. Now we can get up and inside. So it's very, very cramped. We're not going to be able to move around too much. In fact, that's as far as we can go. We've got this seat on the side here. We've got a few controls which are not currently set up. Not too sure what they are, but this is what we get when looking around. Then hopping out, we will be ejected out the side. So we have to come around towards the back once again. And we're going to get a better look on the inside. So crouching, hiding in the HUD, we can see some cargo containers on the side there. We see some hydrogen tanks, some hydrogen engines. Then towards the front there's our main seat where my other character is sitting. So this character now bugger off into the distance. There we go. And we switch over to this one. Looking around in a first person view, we can see our salvo script on the side there, just doing its lovely little animation. And all the way towards the front. And then onto the side. There we go. Looking up, not too much else to talk about. So coming into third person view, bring up the HUD, these are the controls we get. So number 1 is going to be for the door at the back to open and close it. Number 2 is going to be to lock and unlock the door. There we are. Number 3, number 4 is to aim the camera. So we can get a good view of what's going on all the way around us. And of course number 4 is to activate the rockets where we can mouse click to start firing. And there goes my poor character into the distance. Anyway, coming out of that and pressing number 5, this is going to be for the light below our turret. So right there, pressing it on and off. There we go. Number 6 is for our hydrogen engines on and off. Number 7 for our batteries to auto or recharge. Number 8 is just to initialize the salvo script in case it's not working. And number 9 is a very useful one for driving this thing around. That's going to be to lock the turret in place. So we'll just spin it all the way around like so. There we go. Then press number 9. We can no longer spin it, but we can still move it up and down. Coming over to tab number 2, 3 and 4, we got nothing else. So what we can do is just drive this thing around, see how it handles, that'll spawn in a large ship, and we can blast it with the turret. So moving forwards, this is what we get. We are a very slow, very stable vehicle, but that is what you want when you are quite top heavy. So this thing isn't going to be doing any kind of record breaking speed, you're not going to be doing any kind of fancy jumping, it's going to be a nice, solid, slow vehicle to get to the combat zone. We have to do a sharp corner, that's what we get. It feels like it wants to tip over, but it's not going to because it is slow enough to keep itself stable. So there we go, then coming to a stop. There we are. So now I can go and grab hold of my other character wherever he's gone. He was hiding behind that bush, cheeky bugger. And now we can just spawn in the good old albatross, because that's a lovely big target for us to blast. And we should be able to clearly see the damage this thing can deal. So after a short delay, it's now spawned in. I can now come into the camera, undo the turret. Now we can spin it all the way around. We don't need to lock onto this. We definitely don't need to lock onto this one. But we can find a free camera, bring it over to here. And now it's time to fire. And there we go, after a short little lag spike, it's now going to start pummeling it. There goes one of the hydrogen tanks. And it's going to start pummeling it with all of its might. It should start to come out the other side. Oh, we've reached the limit on how many smoke effects can be handled by the game. And now the ship is starting to move. I'm still going to pummel it. And it looks like it's gone all the way through. Yes, it has. There we go. Now we can just adjust our aim just a little bit. We'll just use the camera for the moment. And there we go. Lots and lots of smoke. It's trying to make its escape. So we need to disable some of the thrusters at the back there. And there we go. It's now going down. It's lost its thrusters at the back there. Can we deal a bit more damage before it slams into the rock? So now we can zoom all the way in. You might be able to make out the damage we can deal. I can now go and find wherever the free camera has gone, turn it all the way around. What kind of destruction have we caused onto this poor little ship? Well, it's generally what you expect. We now just lower that all the way down. There we go. And yes, this thing can deal a lot of damage. But yes, there's not too much else to talk about with this vehicle. It's very self-explanatory what's going on with it, and I highly recommend you download it from the link in the description below to play around with it. It's very satisfying to use, with all the missiles just streaming out of it. It's just a lot of fun. But yes, that is it. There'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download it and play around with it yourself, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.